Hi everyone, thank you for joining our demo. Everyone's on mute right now. We'll have a nice Q&A at the end, but I wanted to run through this really quick and we'll just answer all the questions at the end. We'll also have this video posted on the website later so you can refer to it if you need a refresher. All right, so what is Talk to the Manager? Talk to the Manager is a service that allows you to receive feedback from your customers anonymously by text message. We provide each of your business locations with a dedicated phone number. You'll get customer comments in real time by text message that are anonymous, but you can still reply to customers in real time too. Neither your customers or management will see each other's phone numbers. All your customer has to do is send a text. They don't have to download any apps or even have a smartphone at all. Neither do you. This works with any cell phone that can send or receive text messages. I'll show you a real-time example of the feedback process in just a moment, but I wanted to recap some of the benefits for your customers. This gives your customers the ability to provide feedback anonymously. Your customers can get their issues resolved, sometimes while they're still at your business. And if they've left, you can still carry on a conversation by text message and make sure it's resolved even though they've left. It makes sure your customers get timely service, convenience, high quality engagement, and a better experience overall. For your managers, it allows you to discover issues and respond to them in real time. Provide better service and training based on what your customers want, and avoid negative reviews by addressing issues privately instead of publicly on some review site. You can improve your operations and save money based on this timely feedback instead of it being end of shift when you might read comment cards. You can address issues now, find problems that are happening right now, and fix those now, which will save you money in the long run. You build loyalty with your customers, reduce operational costs, and have a new way of holding employees accountable, but not in a negative way. On average, over 75% of the messages received from customers are actually positive, so they'll be getting more positive than they will negative. You can share those positive messages with your staff, and you can also work on improving things when things are negative. Talk to the Manager has been in business for over 4 years. We launched in 2012. We have customers all over the United States and Canada. In fact, we recently completed a 5,700-mile road trip where we got face-to-face feedback with some of our customers in Utah, Texas, and California. Unfortunately, we couldn't meet with all of them, or we would have never gotten back home. We love meeting face-to-face with customers, hearing about how they're using the service, seeing their signage, and hearing their stories. It's really great. All right, let's run through a quick sign up so you can see how quick and easy it is to get started with this service. So let's go. I'm going to click the try it free button. For this demo, I'm just going to go with the free trial. And I'll start the sign up. Now this first step is just your contact info as the person who will kind of be in control of the account. So we'll put my first name is Joe and Smith, and I'll put an email in here. And my password. And my cell phone number. Since you'll be setting this up for yourself, you'll put in your cell phone number that you'll want to receive these customer texts on. And time zone is Pacific. Let's go to the next step. Now let's add the location info. So this place will just be called World Buffet. You can add a nickname also. So the name of the business will be visible to customers. The nickname is internal use for you, so that if you have multiple locations all with the same name, you can have a nickname for each so you can tell them apart. I won't put one in for this. For a country, United States, do 206. Just putting in something easy for now. All right. Now, this is a free trial, so you don't have to pay anything when you sign up. We still record credit card information so that when the trial expires, we can charge you. You can cancel anytime before the trial expires. And you can do that on your own. You don't need to contact us. So I'll put in the credit card info. And then scrolling down, billing address, all looks good. Let's complete sign up. And it's as easy as that. Sign up is complete. I now have my Talk to the Manager phone number, which is right here in the top. I'll also receive an email, which has these same items here, this kind of nice checklist of things to do to get started. But that's really it. I've signed up, I've got my number. Now, what should I do? Well, let's send a test to myself. As a manager on the account, you can't text yourself. Well, customers can text you. If you try to text, it's going to think that you're trying to reply to a customer and you're not. So we added this nice little way for you to send a test to yourself that would look like it comes from a customer, but it's just coming from a robot, a very friendly robot. When I click this button, a text message is going to come to my phone, just like it would if it came from a regular customer. So I'm going to zip over to my phone. I've got a couple of phones sitting here waiting. This one on the left we'll use in a moment to send a text from customer and what that would look like. And then on the right is my phone. So I'm going to click this button to send a test. And it's sent. So now on my phone, in just a second, it'll pop up. All right. So this is the message I received, and it says customer number 1. This is a test customer message. I'm just a robot, but you can still reply to me. Reply with my customer number like this, and you have a 1 and texting you back. And the 1 in here is the customer number. So each customer that texts will get a number so you can identify that customer. So customer number 1 is the first person to text your Talk to the Manager number. Customer number 2 is the second person to text that number, and so on. So if customer number 50 texts you today and they text you again 2 months from now, they'll be number 50 then too. So you'll know, oh, it's number 50 again. Welcome back. So this one is just saying, hey, you can text me back, but I'm just a robot. So let's do a text back. So I'll go down here and I will, like it says, start with the customer number 1, and that little colon, and I will say, thank you for texting. And I'll hit send. And that will go back to this robot customer, not the thing on the left. That's just that's a real phone for a real customer. And then, hey, what does it say here? Customer number 1 says, thanks for responding. This is just an example of customer response. I'm a robot. But I could keep texting this back and forth to this fake customer. But this is really just how it works. You just reply with the customer number. They can reply back to you. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a very simple system. And just 3 minutes ago, we didn't have a number at all. But now we're able to have the conversation anonymously with customers. It's pretty cool. So back over here, if I look down this kind of checklist of the next things to do, there's a link to learn the basics of replying to customers. I can order or download signs. I can add another employee who will also receive messages from customers. I can set my business hours or special after hours auto reply. I can learn the SMS commands, which are really neat. I'll show you those in a moment. You can add another business location, and you can also give others access to billing. So from here, I want to experiment one more time, but this time with a real cell phone, just like a person would be texting me. And I'll go back over here to the phone, and using this customer phone on the left, I'll start typing in the number 53914. And then I will send a text just as if I was a customer. The tater tots were amazing. And if a customer sends that message to your Talk to the Manager phone number, on the right side, you'll see that message pop up in just a second. So 2 things happened here. On the left-hand side, you can see after the customer texted, they received an auto reply. It says, "Thank you for contacting us. We appreciate your feedback. We'll be in touch shortly." This message is customizable by you. I skipped over it during sign up, but you can set this during sign up, and this is the message that you want customers to see when they first text you. The second one is an auto reply that we append, and what that does is helps us stay in compliance with the mobile marketing guidelines. So behind this link is consumer information about our service and how customers can opt out if they decide that they don't want to carry on conversations with your business anymore. All right, shifting over to the right-hand side here, we can see this customer number 2 message. So it's got customer number 2, so we know it's not this robot, it's another person. So now all I need to do is to reply to this customer is just start with their customer number 2 and then say what I want to say. Thanks for letting us know that's a family recipe. And then in a second, you'll see it pop up on the left-hand side on the customer's phone. And it's as easy as that. We can have a conversation back and forth. They can reply to me, I can reply to them. It's very simple. And that's the core of it. So that's on the day-to-day, that's what you'll see, and that's how it'll work. How this works when you have multiple managers is that when a customer sends a text, each manager that's assigned to that location will receive that message. And then any of those managers can reply to that customer just like I replied. And so if, let's say, I'm Joe and Janet replies to a customer, then I will see on my phone Janet to, say, number 3, if this was customer number 3, and what Janet said. So I can stay in the loop even though I'm not replying. I can read both sides of the conversation and I know what's going on. So just because I'm receiving messages doesn't necessarily mean I have to reply. Okay, so that is that part of it. Let's go back over to the browser. So what are some of these options here on this list? I'm going to go through them in a way that pretty much goes down this list, but I'll show you up here how that works. So if I click this Messages tab, you will see the messages for World Buffet, which is my business, and you can see customer number 1 and what they said, and then the most recent message from customer number 2. So let's take a look at number 2. So it started with customer number 2 texting, "The tater tots were amazing," and then I texted back in my reply. Here's the timestamps for all that in my time zone. And if I scroll up, you can see in this little block, I can actually respond to the customer from the dashboard. So let's give that a go. So if I flip over to the right, you can see customer on the left still hanging out. So if I reply back to customer number 2 from the dashboard, I can say, "Thanks for coming in," and hit send. And over on the right, boom, there it is, right back to them. "Thanks for coming in." So you can reply from your phone, you can reply from the dashboard, you can also reply by email. This option is off by default, but if I go up here to the right to my profile, and I go to edit my profile, scrolling down, you can see for getting messages, I can get messages to my phone, or I can also get messages sent to my email address. So if you want to receive them by email, you can do that too. And then when you receive a message by email, all you have to do is reply to that email and we'll route the message back to the customer. And we do a pretty good job of stripping all the footers from your email so that all that doesn't go back to the customer, just what you wanted the customer to read. Let's head back to the dashboard. While we're here on the Messages tab, I'll show you a few more things. Here at the top, you can export your entire message history for this location, and that is saved as a CSV, so you can run that through your own reporting system if you like. You can also search for messages here. Let's say if I wanted to find everything that mentioned thanks, by default it only searches customer messages, so it ignores the manager responses. But you can also click to search manager responses. In that case, you can see everything that has the word thanks in it. I'll turn that off. Okay, let's go to the Learn tab up here at the top. So this is how you can learn all about the TalkToTheManager service. We have a quick tutorial here, which I've already covered, which talks about how to receive and respond to messages. We also have on the left side some Q&A videos, which will answer, they're very brief, usually around a minute, and they will answer each of your questions, such as, if it's anonymous, how do I identify a customer? So there's things like this which can fill in your curiosity. If I click the SMS keyword commands, you'll get a list of these SMS commands which you can just text to your TalkToTheManager number from your phone. And I'll go through these really quickly. So first is help. So if you text the word help to your TalkToTheManager number, it will send back a list of all of these commands so that you don't have to remember them. Star help displays a list of canned responses, which I'll get to in a moment. You can also block a customer. So let's say there's some kid messing around with their phone and they just keep texting you junk. You can block them so that they don't waste your time. So all you have to do is send the word block space and that customer's number to your TalkToTheManager number, and it will block them. And then the other managers will also know that they're blocked. The customer won't know that they're blocked, so they can still text all sorts of things, but those messages won't show up in the messages view, and they won't show up on your phone or your email. No one will be bothered anymore. You can unblock them again later if you like by doing unblock. You can also hold messages if you go off shift or go on vacation or you're going out for the night. Let's say you're going out for an anniversary dinner, so you don't want to turn your phone off, but you also don't want to be receiving messages from work while you're out. But you need to have your phone on in case the babysitter calls or sends a text. So when you leave work, you would text the word hold to your TalkToTheManager number. You can also put in a time period like 20 minutes, 4 hours, 7 days using these little abbreviations. And then once this time expires, you'll start getting new messages again. You won't get messages you missed. You'll have to log into the website to view those. But anything that happened while you were off shift, you can just catch up on. So if you come back on shift, if you don't use one of these time expiration things and you just do hold, then you can do the word unhold when you come back. One other nifty trick is the bcast command. So if you have an important message you need to send to your entire staff that's assigned to your location, you can use the word bcast space and then the message you want to send. And that message will get broadcast to all the other managers so that it's kind of a nice internal notification tool. And then we have a bunch of different ways that you can write these time periods. You don't have to remember exactly how they work. Pretty much anything works. And then one last thing is sharing on social media. In the messages view, if you click on a customer and then you click the tweet or post next to that message, so let's say you want to post this customer message about the tater tots on Twitter. You click this link, a little authorization window pops up. Once you put in your business's information, your Twitter information, or in the case of Facebook, your Facebook login, you will get a little dialog that looks like this with your Twitter info at the top, a brief message, and on the right-hand side, that customer's message baked into an image so that you can post it on Twitter without having to worry about how long that message was. And the Facebook one looks similar to this. And there's a little video we have on the Learn It tab to learn more about that. Next, I'll go to the Signage tab, and here you can download print-ready signs. So you have your TalkToTheManager number, and you want to promote that number at your business. So this is a nice little way to make signs for yourself. So you can choose the wording. We have a few messages here. Let's say text us your comments, questions, and suggestions. You pick a color. I happen to like green. And then you choose a style. So there's 4 different styles. Um, these all have the same call to action. It'll have your phone number in it. And these are just 4 different styles with different sizes. So I've got this one. So I'm going to go ahead and download that file. And then this is what will look like. It's got the phone number for my business and my call to action. And then I can just print this out on my printer or take it to Kinko's. And that's it. So it's as easy as that. Now if I go back up to the top, I can also order printed table tents. And they're quite attractive. They look like this. They're 4.25 inches wide and 6 inches high. So they only take up a little bit of space on the table if you have a restaurant, let's say. So just like on the other form, you can choose your wording. You can pick a color scheme. Let's go red this time. And you can download a full-size preview PDF of what it's going to look like to make sure everything looks good. And then once you're done, you just can order through here and we will ship it right to your business. Going back to signage, we also have some blank templates for you to download if you know a printer, are good with Illustrator, and can edit these on your own. I'll skip over the Manage tab. I'll hit that in just a moment, and then let's go to the Find It tab. The Find It tab is really neat because it'll take you directly to where something lives. So you can see some common searches here, adding a location, downloading print-ready signs, ordering signs, but you can also just search for something like update credit card. And it will give you results just for what you're looking for. So it's like a little Google built right into the website. So you can jump right to updating billing information. And there's the billing information form. So that's the Find It tab. Really neat. You can do things very easily. So I'll go to the Manage tab, which looks like this. And we've got our one location. We've got one person, which is me, billing information. And I'll come back to this in just a moment, but what I'll do is switch over to an account which has more locations and more people, so you can see what it looks like when you've kind of built it out with a good size organization. All right, I've switched over to another account that has multiple locations and people on the account. So I'm going to go through these different tabs here and show you all the options available. So all the tabs here are reflected in this main area. So let's go to locations. As you can see, this business has 5 locations. They're all in order by name. You also have nickname here, the phone that we assign to the business, how many people are assigned to each location to receive messages, and the address, etc. And all of these are sortable if you need to. And you can also search for locations. If you have many, many locations, you can search for them using the search box. You can also add another location from here just by clicking the button, and it looks just like it does on sign up, where you just put in basic business information and it adds it to your account. I'll click on a location so you can see the options available. So this is World Buffet in Brooklyn. You can see the location info here, and you can edit that. Under General, you can edit canned responses, and canned responses are a convenience method for you to be able to reply to a customer without having to text a lot on your phone. So if you, I'll click into it. So if you're consistently getting a lot of the same kind of feedback, and it's probably all great feedback, but you don't want to keep typing the same response every time, canned responses are a great way to deal with that. So all you have to do is click to add a canned response, and this one will be thanks for letting us know. You can save that. And now how this works is from your phone, when a customer texts your location, if you want to reply with this message, all you have to do is reply with, in this case, this is customer 14, if you can see where I'm moving here. You reply with pound 14 space *1 for the number 1 canned response. And so it would be just as if you had responded back to the customer with this message. So it really saves you a lot of time. If you've made a whole bunch of these canned responses and you don't remember which is which, like which one was that *5, was that *3, you can just text *help to your Talk to the Manager number, and we'll send you back a cheat sheet so you can see what's available. You can just do that from your phone. You don't have to log into the website to see. So that's canned responses. I will go back to World Buffet Brooklyn. You can also put messages on hold from the dashboard. So if you want to put messages on hold for the entire location, no matter who's assigned to that location, you can put the whole location on hold. Let's say you're closing for the holidays or for some event, then all you have to do is come in here and say, you know, when you will be back, and you can give it a date and a time, and then just say hold messages, and then until that time expires, messages won't come into your phone or to your email, but they will show up under the messages tab. So when you come back, you can kind of catch up. Okay, back to the Brooklyn page. You can also test your number from here with that little test like we did right in the beginning. Okay, now you can see the people assigned to this location. So I'll click Manage People Assigned. So you can see we've got 2 people assigned to this location. One of them is an admin for the location, and an admin is someone who kind of controls that location. It probably is like a general manager for that location. If they have the location admin privilege, then what they can do is they can add or remove people from that location. And so it's a way for an account admin to give another person on the account a privilege that allows them to kind of manage their location. So the account admin doesn't have to manage the entire organization. Okay, so if I click into, let's say, Holly Frederick, then you can see information about them, where they are assigned, any privileges they have will be up in the right corner. This is where they're assigned, if they're an admin of that location, and you can also remove them from the account if they're no longer there. Just as a shortcut, on the left-hand side, all of the items that you saw on the World Buffet Brooklyn page are also on the left, so you can jump from there. And then also we have extras like our website widget. And this is a little widget that you can, with just a little bit of HTML code, you can see right here, so a little bit of HTML code, you just copy and paste that into your website, and then you have this nice little widget show up. And you can, from here, you can change the colors. Let's see, let's give this one a nice green for border color. Let's go to the background color. That's probably going to be easier to see here. So you can adjust that and make it just how you'd like. And you can do text shadow colors. You can change the send us your feedback. So you can change it right from here. Click this button to copy to your clipboard, and then you can go paste into your web page. And then customers will see this on your website and be able to text you without having to be on premises. We also have the testimonial widget. The testimonial widget is a special piece of code that you put on your website, just like the other widget. But what this one allows you to do is when you are in the message view of the website, when you're on messages, let's jump to one real quick. So let's say you wanted to put this one on your website, this nice customer message. What you would do is you click this add to testimonials. And if I click this, it'll say, you haven't set up your testimonial widget yet. So all you got to do is click add this widget, close the window, and it tells you how to get to where that testimonial widget is set up. Let's jump back to that. Okay, now that I've got the testimonial widget, all I have to do is copy and paste this one line of code into my website, and then at any time afterward, if I want to update that widget on the site, I don't have to go edit it again. All I have to do is just edit it from here. I can change the colors. Let's go with that. Another green again, or maybe a blue. But I can change it from here, and once I hit save, that will show up right on my website. What this allows me to do is anytime I see a message from a customer that I want to post to this widget on my website, all I have to do is click that little Add to Testimonials button next to the message, and it'll immediately show up on my website, which is pretty great. That way I don't have to go and find the person that's to update the site for me. I can just post them up there anytime I like. Okay, so back to World Buffet Brooklyn. So there's two more things here. There's the auto reply, which we can edit, and this is the auto reply that the customer gets the first time they text us. They will only get it the first time. They won't get it the second time they text. Now there's the after hours auto reply. If your business is like most, you're not open 24 hours a day, and you probably don't want to be receiving text messages at 4 a.m. What after hours auto reply allows you to do is set an auto reply for if a customer texts you after your business is closed. They will get a different auto reply than if they text while the business was open. When they get this auto reply, they know that, oh, someone is not there, and they'll probably get back to me tomorrow. And what you can additionally do with your after hours auto reply is set it so that the messages don't come to your cell phone or email after business hours. They'll still get logged on the website so you can check them the next day, but they won't bother you in the middle of the night. So if I click into that and turn it on, you can set your auto reply here. You can set the auto reply to repeat again if they text after another, let's say they text 2 hours later, they didn't get the point that you're closed for the night, they'll get the message again. That's an option. You can hold messages, like I said, so that they don't come to your phone after business hours. And then you can set your business hours for this business location, and it's pretty easy. And then you just save that and you're good to go. Okay, so that covers this view. You can also delete a location if that location is no longer there and you don't want to receive messages at that location anymore. Okay, let's jump to the People tab. This shows all the people that are on your account. In this case, there's 11 of them. There's two buttons up here at the top that account admins will see. You can edit reports access, and you can edit billing access. If I click that, click edit reports access, you can see all the people on the account, which ones are account admins, and then you can see what access and give them access to reports. This gives access to basic performance reports and also the advanced analytics and reports. Basic performance reports are available on the Plus plan, and the performance analytics and reporting is available on the Pro plan. So this is where you would give access to people to be able to view those reports. Also, remember there was another button next to that one on the previous screen. That's for billing access. Billing access looks the same. It's just whether they have access to billing or not. And account admins here always have access. So go back to people. If you want to add a person to the account, it's easy. You just click Add Person, fill in their info, set their access privileges, and hit Add. And then you can assign them to locations if they should be receiving messages. So that's it for the People tab. Let's go to the Billing tab. The Billing tab is where you'll update billing info. You can see your billing history. You can also upgrade your account to a different plan or close the account if you wish. And on the final tab is the Data tab. And with this, you can request a weekly export of your messages that came in during 1 week's time. So if I enable this, I can say, okay, every Sunday morning, I want to get the previous week's messages from previous Sunday to Saturday, or let's say Wednesday. Every Wednesday morning, I want to get the previous week's messages from previous Wednesday to the day before, which would be Tuesday. So basically, I want 1 week's worth of messages, and that comes every week as a zip file. And then you put an email list of recipients here of who you want to receive that export. So that covered all of these many tabs that we have. Up at the very top, you'll see there's a news button that shows the most recent announcements from the company with new features and things that we've been working on and have announced, so that make sure you don't miss any product announcements. There's a support button, so if at any time you need to get in touch with us and you need help on something, all you have to do is fill in your question and hit send. And it comes right to us and we know who you are and we can get back to you. You can also edit your profile, editing your profile here, name, email, cell phone, your preferred time zone. You can also get a nightly summary from us. So if you get messages to the service and you aren't necessarily one who needs to respond to customers, but you want to keep tabs on what's happening with the business, you can just get a nightly summary every night. So you'll know everything that happened the previous day. This is also helpful if you'd use the business hours option and don't want to receive messages in the middle of the night. You can see which messages came in during the night, the next morning. And here's where you would change your password, and also where you can set messages to be on hold just for yourself. And this covers you across all locations when you set to put messages on hold. And that ends our tour. So thank you for your time and watching our demo. We'll do a quick Q&A after a short break. That short break will allow us to get a drink of water and compile the questions that you've put in the chat into a list that we can go through pretty quickly. So thank you very much.